Offensively, it's something that we must do. Be really engaged defensively. Against a very talented team, you have to. There's no other way for us to win. And I thought that we did a pretty good job for stretches. I think at times too we got kind of lost and miscommunicated a lot of actions. We got to also do a better job rebounding when we get into miss, and a little more mindful of what they're trying to accomplish and how they're trying to accomplish, and mindful of the ball as well and the timing and score. But obviously, when you have Kawhi and Pascal playing at that level offensively, covers up for a lot of the little mistakes that we had. But now watch film, get ready for game 2.
Marc, the last time I've seen Kawhi play that well in the playoffs was 2 years ago against the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I remember that.
Is it nice to have him on your side at a game like this?
Well, it's nice that now he's not his career high against us. I mean, that team against the Grizzlies. Now it's against somebody else, and I'm on his side. I like when he's assertive. I like when he goes, north-south. Yeah.
What do you think's been the biggest difference for him in the postseason? It does look like maybe he's pulled it into another gear here in the last couple of weeks.
He's having that gear. We're going to put the ball in his hands a lot. We're going to create gaps in spacing. Set good screens for him, and he's a guy that is able to make those plays, and heck of a player.
You must be running out of nice things to say about Pascal. It seems like the longer the season goes, the further you go, the better he gets.
Yeah, I mean, he's really good, poised. You have to do a good job early on in the game, getting good shots. I think that kind of allows him, to take it to that level and get confident, get going, and get in a rhythm. So it's a matter of kind of Kyle and myself with the first unit to get Pascal those good shots at the basket. If it's either a face up or back down or off the rip, get him good looks.
They got within 4 early third quarter when JJ had all those threes. What's being said in the timeout at that point? Is there anything you guys are specifically trying to remind yourselves about, or is it just very calm?
Just being more mindful. Yeah. That's kind of the plays that I was talking about just now. Be more mindful of what they're trying to accomplish with plays and time and score and those sort of things. So I think we did a pretty good job though of solving that issue and finishing possession with rebounds after that. I think they had 14 or 16 second chance points. When I looked up, we got to cut those down.
Going back to that game against the Grizzlies that Kawhi had, how would you compare and contrast that version of the game?
It's a different scenario. Now I'm on the other side. I'm not comparing, that game when I'm trying to beat him on this game that I'm trying to help him. It's impossible to compare.
You guys had neutralized Embiid pretty well. How would you feel about that?
It's game 1. You're trying to make it kind of the same thing over and over again. I don't like repeating myself much. You just try to stay in front of them, be physical, contest his shots, box out. It's pretty. It's hard.
He can beat a lot of people off the dribble, but he hasn't been able to do that to you. Why do you think that is the case?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he'll try. I think he, it's hard with some of the guards. You got to be up higher. Because they especially with JJ as a big, you got to be high and helping the guard coming over. He does a good job of keeping with that ball, especially on the left hand, and he's a really good player.
Pascal, Matthew Cullen de Radio-Canada. Qu'est-ce que ça vous a fait? Comment est-ce que ça change le jeu, la bloc de Kawhi Leonard, puis votre dunk, puis les 3 points de Danny Green, la prochaine possession? Comment est-ce que ça change le jeu?
Je pense que ça apporte l'énergie, bien sûr. En défense, essayer de jouer comme on l'a fait, là, avec des stops décisifs que Kawhi a fait. Danny et tout le monde. Donc, je pense que collectivement, c'était très bien. On a eu de bonnes séquences en défense et on espère continuer comme ça.
Mike, on the left, halfway back.
Pascal, Michael Grange from Sportsnet. What was it like between you and Kawhi in that first quarter? I think you each went 7 of 9, each had 17 points. Were you aware that each of you were kind of just rolling that way? Was there any interaction between the two of you?
I saw what Kawhi was doing. I mean, it was unbelievable, and just getting to spots, making shots, driving. I don't know. I wasn't really like looking at myself. Like I saw what Kawhi did. I don't know if you saw what I did too. That's great, but I did. No, I mean it was good. Like we had early, a lot of pace and try to play in transition and kind of take whatever the defense gives me and obviously if Kawhi is going off too, he's gonna get some attention and kind of open up the floor for me too. So.
Any other questions in English, please? Josh, down front.
How do you know it's in English?
I just guessed.
Josh Lewenberg, TSN. Pascal, for game one, how much of it as a team and individually for you is about feeling out the other team and what their coverages are, how they're covering you?
Yeah, for sure, because we know, it's a long series. There's going to be a lot of changes and things, teams going to make adjustments. And I think, it's coming out just kind of staying true to who you are as a team and trying to execute. And obviously we know things are going to, there's going to be some changes and all that. But I think if we, stay within what we do and as a team and continue to build on that and I kind of adjust, with whatever comes at us.
Stephen?
Pascal? Prior to the game, coaches were talking about how transition gets tougher to accomplish in the postseason. Just wondering, have you noticed it getting harder to run the floor and be successful at that aspect of your game through the playoffs?
For us? For me? I mean, I think I did a decent job, running the floor and kind of trying to keep that pace. It was kind of in the beginning of the game. It was kind of weird a little bit. We didn't come out as fast as we usually do, but I think we picked it up, and it was pretty consistent with the pace and playing fast because that's how we want to go up and down, and for me, I think I did a decent job. I mean, it was maybe a couple of possessions out there. I was a little tired, but for the most part, it was good.
We're back to Matthew in French, and then we'll wrap up.
Encore une en français à Pascal ici. Vous travaillez très bien avec Kawhi Leonard, ça c'est sûr. Est-ce que vous avez vu Kawhi au niveau qu'on a vu ce soir?
Je pense que pour moi, c'est la première fois de le voir pendant les playoffs avec ce qu'il a fait aujourd'hui, mais c'est vraiment impressionnant et pour nous, pour moi en plus, c'est juste de regarder ça et avoir la chance d'être là et pour voir ça, c'est vraiment impressionnant.
Mike, last one.
Mike Laviole, l'Express. Tu as dominé Tobias Harris ce soir des deux côtés du terrain. Pour le prochain match, que penses-tu que tu peux faire de plus face à lui?
Face à qui?
Tobias Harris.
Ouais, je pense que on était pas mal en tant qu'équipe et je pense qu'on a essayé de... Parce qu'en fait, quand tu arrives à ce niveau-là, beaucoup de joueurs sont très talentueux et ça ne prend pas qu'une personne, en fait. Donc, ça prend un effort collectif. Et je pense qu'on a fait ce soir et on espère continuer comme ça. On sait que les prochains matchs ils vont venir avec plus d'intensité et essayer de faire des choses de manière un peu différente. Mais bon, pour nous, c'est continuer avec la même intensité, continuer à être focus et kind of like, oh, I went to English a little bit, but sorry. Yeah, that's it.
What kind of mental boost does it give your team when you see guys like Kawhi and Pascal come out in the first quarter and be so dominant right off the bat?
Well, I think it got us kind of got the jitters out and stuff, Doug, to be honest with you. I didn't think we were moving great at the start tonight. Again, it's a start of another big series, and we weren't pushing as hard as I would have liked, and we weren't cutting as hard as I would have liked, and those guys kind of bailed us out and kept us ticking over. Actually played enough offense to kind of get us a nice little lead there at the start. So it was big to have those two guys step up and kind of jumpstart us.
Eric, to your left, about halfway down, Coach.
Eric Corrine, The Athletic. You sort of resisted the urge to match up with what they do in terms of their rotations. Why was that?
Well, I think, as I stated before the game, I was really pleased with what our rotations looked like in the first series, and I wanted to kind of give it a go. We tweaked it a little. I think I might have got Danny back in pretty quick to get another starter out there at the beginning of the second, and I kind of, I was tempted to start the fourth to bring Kawhi back, to be honest with you, too, because I thought the way that third ended, they had a little momentum. But our guys, we stuck with them, and they went out and got a quick, I think it was just a 4-0 run, but it was a big 4-0 run, and they had, they took a timeout.
Steve at the back and to your right, Coach.
Nick, Steve Simmons, Toronto Sun. Is there anything Kawhi does that surprises you? Or have you seen everything now?
Well, I think that was, I guess not maybe surprising. Tonight was pretty dang good tonight, right? I mean, that was again a big time performance at both ends, and I just like the force he's playing with at both ends, but especially when he's getting the ball, he's pushing it up the floor, he's punching gaps with force, he's determined to get to spaces. I don't know. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but that was pretty cool to watch tonight.
Ryan at the front and to your left, Coach.
Hey, Coach. Ryan McNeil, Alex Unfiltered. We talked pregame about defense, and you held Philly to under 40%. What stood out for you from the defense tonight?
Well, I thought our defense was pretty good, but not. Let's put it this way: there's room for improvement. I thought we had several breakdowns as well, but what stood out for me is we did one thing that we set out to do, which was get up and get in them. Right? We didn't want to let them have too much easy. They had a couple, drives down, uncontested, a couple dunks here and there, but the main thing, I think, once we kind of got ourselves settled into the game, we were breaking up their sets. We were stopping the ball a long ways from the basket with the dribbler picking up his dribble, and we were up in them. So that's a really good starting point, right? That we're up and we're pressuring.
Lewis, about 3/4 of the way down on your right, Coach.
Lewis Atzman, Raptors Republic. You mentioned you'd open relatively vanilla from the last series and see what happened. Aside from the obvious, what did you see? Not asking for specific adjustments, but anything in general worth changing going forward, or happy with it?
Well, I think there's always adjustments to be made, and I think that's always the battle you got to make after a win, right? Is that you think, oh, well, that game went well, and let's not change anything. But I think there's always adjustments to make, and we'll look at some things. I think there's some things we definitely can shore up, just in some specific coverages and plays. And again, like that last series didn't mean anything to this one. This next game will be a totally different complexion. That's what's super interesting about a series is no two games is the same, right? That's why we got to play them all.
Last couple of questions. I've got Bruce here.
Bruce Arthur from the Toronto Star. What did you like about how you guys handled Embiid, and how important was it to keep him under wraps in this game?
Well, it's extremely important because he can go. He can go do a lot of things, and he can take over a game. He can go wild on you. So it was great. I thought the combination of Marc and Serge did a good job. He was taking some tougher shots. I thought we had him picking up the ball a little bit further away maybe than he wanted a few times. And then our team help was pretty good too. I thought we were crowding the paint a little bit, making it look a little crowded in there for him, so he wasn't that comfortable.
Last question from Eric, please.
I think it was Game 3 against Orlando where Vucevic got going and Serge had a rough first half, and you stuck with him in that role, and he came through. It was sort of the same thing tonight. Is it just something he's earned, and you want to give him every chance to make his mark on a game, which he obviously did?
Yeah, I think it's certainly for sure he's something he's earned, Eric, without a doubt. But he also plays that way a little bit. He's kind of, I don't know, he kind of, as the game wears on, he always seems to get better and better. So sometimes you got to live through a little bit of that, and you know, we can't play Marc the whole game, so we gotta get him out there, and I think that Serge has got that game under his belt. I think he'll be a little bit better from the start, but he was really something down the stretch, blocking shots and rebounding and making some hard drives, and he definitely got into the flow of the game there in the fourth quarter.
Thank you.